Good morning guys, welcome back to Wild Side. We are in the workshop today, planning to put a new handle on my hatchet that I use for my bushcraft. It has picked up quite a significant split just there in the shaft, so you can see it running all the way up. So it is unusable at the moment, and definitely want to make sure that it's safe to use when I'm out and about, and I definitely don't want it snapping in the middle of being in a camping trip. So what we'll do is we'll stick a new handle on it. I did order a handle off of eBay and this arrived. It's Beech, so it's fairly cheap. Look at the quality of that. It looks like it's been chewed. It's flat. It really is laughable. It's terrible quality. Hasn't even got a split for a wedge. The bottom of it's got obviously chuck marks, I'm assuming. So look at that. It's got ripples in it and everything. So what I'm planning to do is turn this into a new handle. What I've done with this one, as you can see, it's got a really nice finish on it. What I've done with this one was I shaped it, sanded it, and then I hit it with a blowtorch. This is Beech also, by the way. Hit it with a blowtorch, and then I stuck some True Oil on it. It's got a really nice kind of satin finish on it. So I'm planning to do that. The shape of the new one does not match the old shape, so we're going to work on that. That is the plan. But first, what we need to do is take the head off. So what we need to do first is remove this leather protector. It is actually made from, believe it or not, part of an old shoe. And I just cut it to shape and laced it up at the back there. So that's going to come off. We should be fairly straightforward. Nice and easy. Sorted. Excellent. Right, so I can put that to one side, and that will probably go on the new handle. Okay, so I've been using this quite extensively for bushcraft. It's taken quite a few knocks. I've obviously just pushed it a wee bit more than it can handle. It's a Beech handle. It's fairly strong. It's not as strong as hickory or ash, but it's done the job quite well. Just that split's a wee bit disconcerting, so we'll definitely just replace it. I went for a vintage axe head, the Gem 1. It's fairly, I don't even know the weight of it. It's fairly light, quite a broad head, so it's got quite a big working area, good blade on it. I sharpened it up to a very, very fine cutting edge, so you can pick these up very cheap. If you're willing to put the work in and clean them up and sharpen them and all the rest of it, you can pick them up very, very cheap. So I will sling that on. The eye of this is obviously a lot smaller than the new handle. It's a lot slimmer, so I'm going to have to spend a bit of time shaping it as well. So what I'll do is I'll cut the head off just here and then drill out the rest of the handle. Okay, so need to obviously drill around the wedge and then pop that out. Right, okay, done. Head, bit, shaft. Right, so that is that out, and the wedge as well. I think you could probably recover that wedge and reuse it. I'm just inspecting the inside of the axe head. It looks like there's a small lip on each side of it, and it feels very slightly turned up the way. So if the angle of that lip is facing up the way, do I put it on that way, or do I put it on that way? I'm thinking putting it on, yeah, I'm thinking of putting it on, if it's turning up the way, putting it on that way, so if it does shift it would dig into the wood, if that makes sense. And that's how I had it on last time, so that's probably how it'll go on. I'll give this clean up, bit of a polish. There's no point in giving it a total mirror finish because it is a working axe, and trying to keep on top of a mirror finish when you're carrying it into the woods and chopping lots of stuff isn't practical for me. So I will give it a bit of a clean up, and we will get to work on the new handle. So there's quite a few dings and dents on the back of the hatchet, so what I'll try and do is I'll grab a file and I will try and file some of those out, and then maybe sand it to a bit of a flatter finish. There we go, that'll do me. It was a lot better than what it was. A few dings and dents, and if I spent a bit more time on it then I could definitely get it completely flat, but like I say, it's not practical for me as a working tool, so yeah, happy with that. We'll move it on to the handle. Okay, so axe head, fairly happy with. I can just polish it up when I get into the house, spend a bit of time on it. Really fine finger grit sandpaper, probably 2000, 2.5. Moving on to the handle now. I really like the shape of this one. Really nice shape to it, really ergonomic, really kind of fit nice in the hand when you were doing carving. This one, however, it's like someone bit it. Honestly, I don't. Have they not get any form of quality control? Look at that. That's like. And if you look at the spine of it, see how it ripples? See how it ripples? That's. So, what we need to do is try and recreate something like this out of this. Now, it was very cheap. It was like 3 or 4 quid, and you kind of get what you pay for, right? So, but I figured if you put a bit of hard work TLC into it, you can get it looking nice. I didn't expect it to turn up like this. I mean, it hasn't even got a slot in the top for the wedge. We'll see. The wedge that they did give me, obviously that's the one I just took out, but the wedges that they did give me were awful. They were like aluminium, they didn't have any steps in them, and that was it. I just got one and no wooden wedge to put in the top of the axe, so might as well pay a couple of more quid and get a handle with a slot, with a wedge, with a decent retainer wedge, rather than going through all this. I like customising stuff though, so let's crack on with it. What we'll do is we'll sand this down and then probably raise the grain on it and sand it down again, just trying to get a bit of shape. Probably use a rasp for this. Okay, so I'll have to do a wee bit of work with the rasp on changing the shape of this handle a little bit. We'll be looking at obviously cutting the bottom off it down there, but we've got to try and get some curves into it. So I'm thinking if we go for, take a bit out of there, just here, right? And then that one kind of snakes, possibly take a bit out of here as well. Obviously what I would love is the ergonomics of this one, but I would quite like a lot of strength in the handle, so I don't want to take out too much material and it weakens this section, because that's maybe what happened here. To be fair, I was tackling heavier stuff than probably what the hatchet could have handled, but I don't want to weaken the neck section, so I'll go for that. I'll take a bit out there, take a bit out of here and try and get a bit of flow into the body of it, and then we'll think about chopping this bit off, punching a hole in it as well. That's the plan. Happy with that. So after 15 minutes with the rasp, I'm getting a small amount of shape into it now, so you can see this bit is similar, and we move up and you can see the curve obviously there. So we've got a basic profile, we just obviously need to sand it now and get it flowing a little bit better, sand it down quite fine, raise the grain, sand it again, think about finishes. And we're through. I've already drawn a line, and I'll just do it with this hacksaw. Right, so the slot's in it, and it is ready to accept a wedge. Obviously it never came with a wedge, so I'll have to make my own wedge and stuff as well. Hole is in the bottom of it, and it's shaped, so we're getting there. Good morning. This is day 2. This has taken some amount of work to get down to the dimensions of the axe head. It's quite a small eye that I need to fit the shaft into, so it's taken a lot of work with the rasp, a lot of sanding, a lot of checks, and yeah, I think we're almost there. So what I'll do now is I will give it one last, I've raised the grain on it already. What I'll do is one last quick sand, and then we'll move on to the blowtorch, I think, and we'll give it a burnished look. Okay, so here we are. I've sanded it down, and I just thought I'd give a quick recap or a quick update of where we are. This is how it's looking so far. It's taken an awful lot of work to get to this stage. Obviously I've put that shape into it around the back of it. Considering what we started off with, it was pretty much just a block of a block of wood. So shaped it, put the hole in it, cut the bottom off it and sanded it down. I've left significantly more material in this section, the neck section here, just because that's where it broke last time, so it's obviously a weak point. A couple of scratches and stuff in the finish, but that's okay. That's where the cuff is going to go. What I'll do is I will now hit this with a blowtorch. I've got a wedge and stuff to go in, got a step wedge, and I'll probably glue these in as well. Hopefully be finished soon. As me hit it with the blowtorch, and I want to sand it up and bring out the grain and stuff on it. Okay, so that is it all sanded up. You can see the beautiful wood grain coming out now. Normally with Sosugiban you use a wire brush and it brings out the grain, but I really like the sanded finish on it. So what we'll do, I think next, is stick the axe head on it. So normally when you're hanging an axe, you flip it upside down, you hit the bottom of the axe. Because this has this angle on it now, it's going to be quite difficult to get an accurate generation of force into the axe head. So I'm just going to be hammering it down from the top. Okay, so that is me moved the head down as far as it's going to go with the neck flaring out. There is a little bit of a gap right down there, I can't really see it, but there's probably about a 1/4 inch gap where the head can move, so I'll probably just put an extra bit of wood down into that 1/4 inch gap, as well as the wedge. So wedge is in and it has been cut. Now I will get the step wedge and set it in at an angle right there. Okay, so step wedge is in. It did split this bit right here and this bit right here. Probably should have put it at a steeper angle or shifted it back a wee bit, but hopefully it doesn't mess too much with the integrity of this part. So okay guys, so here we are back at the house and I'm working a wee bit more on the finish of the handle. So what I've done so far is I've got some True Oil, put some True Oil on the handle and sanded it while wet with 800 grit. That creates a slurry and that fills all the pores of the grain. It'll give it a really nice deep finish, just like the last axe handle. What I'll plan to do after that is I'll probably put another thin coat of True Oil on and then steel wool and wax to give it a nice satin finish. A lot of people say not to varnish axe handles because it can slip in your hands, but I'm going to be using this for very light work, very light carving work as well. So personal preference, I suppose, but I will show you once all of that is finished. Okay guys, so here it is completely finished. I stuck the leather bit back in the bottom and I put the cuff back on. Yeah, so the finish came up really nice. What I done was I finished that off with sandpaper and a bit of wax, and it's got a really nice satin finish on it. It's not too shiny, it won't be too slippy in the hands, and then at the top all I done was just stain that top bit, so it all kind of matches. So I'm fairly happy with that. A lot of work, like I said. Sometimes you might just be easier spending a wee bit more money and getting a better handle to start off with, but like I say, I like to customise my stuff, so I am quite happy with that.